Hi, all, and welcome to the channel for Georgia Advocate Partners. And this is my first episode of a new series I'm calling Straight from SSA. In this series, I'm going to give you quick updates that come directly from the Social Security Administration that directly impact those of you who are already on benefits or who are applying for benefits. On today's Straight from SSA, I'm going to talk to you about a new emergency message that was released that impacts how you receive your monthly benefits. On July the 2nd of 2025, the Social Security Administration released Emergency Message 25040, which is entitled Transition to Only Electronic Benefit Payments for Initial Claims, which is a really nice bureaucratic title. Why am I telling you this? Because your take-home message is that the Social Security Administration does not want to deal with paper checks anymore. And quite honestly, considering the amount of checks that go missing in the mail or are fraudulently deposited, I think mailing checks anymore, regardless of what kind of check it is actually pretty risky. So if you look at this emergency message, it refers back to Executive Order 14247, which was signed by President Trump on March the 25th. This particular executive order requires the Department of the Treasury to phase out issuing paper checks for all federal disbursements no later than September the 30th of 2025. So for Social Security benefits, if you insist on receiving a paper check, you are going to be required to apply to the Department of Treasury for a waiver. And you're going to have to apply directly to them, not to Social Security. And my understanding is that getting a waiver for you to be allowed to receive a paper check is going to be very difficult, and most people will not qualify for that waiver. The Treasury Department will then have to review your request and make a determination. They are making this difficult for a reason. Importantly, as it says in the emergency message, the Treasury Department has advised that if individuals remain on paper checks after September the 30th, 2025, while the waiver request is pending, or if it is not approved, then you may experience a disruption in timely payment delivery. So in other words, between now and September the 30th, you need to figure out a pathway forward to get off of paper checks. So you've got two options. The first is if you don't already have one, you need to open up a bank account and get that information over to the Social Security Administration and change over from receiving paper checks to direct deposit. Secondly, if there is some reason that you cannot open a bank account or you cannot do direct deposit, your other option is going to be to utilize the Direct Express cards, which are those preloaded cards from the Social Security Administration where they will put your money on that card for you to be able to use monthly. However, per a different emergency message, this one is 25038, Social Security has discontinued their Direct Express resolution site. So if you experience issues with your card moving forward, it's locked, it's frozen, you need a replacement, something's wrong with it, you no longer call the Social Security Administration, you now need to call Direct Express directly. So in short, the point of this the point of this little video, which is straight from SSA, is you need to be working on getting your paper checks changed over to direct deposit no later than September 30th of this year to avoid having payment disruptions. I hope you find that information helpful. My name is Jennifer Jarvis, and I am a Social Security disability attorney practicing in the state of Georgia. As always, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, and feel free to check me out on my website, georgiaadvocatepartners.com.